feel like we've talked about the physical part a lot. We can also talk about the mental part piece as well, because yoga also coincides with that. But like for you, like what do you do to mentally condition yourself or be able to stay mentally fit? Because that's also a huge thing, especially in 2021.
I think something I've seen very helpful for me was meditating. Right, meditating is good for your mind. It relaxes you, and it gets you from all the distractions in life, and like you're harnessing in one energy, and that's key because your mind is always racing all day every day, and I think you're gonna test that too, right?
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head there. Meditation has completely changed my life personally. I've been doing meditations now for maybe like 6 months consistently. I personally do 30 minutes a day, so I do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening. And it sounds easy, it's not. Meditation, hands down, is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Because what meditation does, as he said, is it calms your mind. And it's actually been shown. There's a lot of studies that's been shown what meditation actually does to your brain. It completely changes the chemistry in your brain. But what meditation has done for me is, first of all, it's taken a lot of stress away. So like I'm not as stressed as I used to. It's also taken away like anxiety, right? What do I mean by anxiety? Like before, like in my job, before a meeting, I'd be really nervous or feel these butterfly feelings in my stomach. But once I started meditating, I just accepted what was there, and I was like, I'm okay. And somehow, it's hard to explain, but you would have to experience it to kind of understand what we're talking about. But meditation has completely changed my life in terms of like it's improved me because I don't have all those stresses. And I came to realize there were so many things like that have happened in my past that there's that voice always in your mind talking to you, right? But now I'm very cognizant of that voice. Like sometimes you'll be sitting by yourself and you have these negative thoughts and you don't realize it. But now I'm very keen on realizing, oh, okay, that's what's happening in my brain.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It's like when those thoughts start coming in, you're like, why am I even thinking about this? Why am I letting this affect how I feel right now? I'm supposed to be in the present. Just leave the past in the past, in the present, and worry about the future, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen myself catching those, negative energies. But
and meditation isn't going to take away those thoughts. You'll just be more aware of when they come in, right?
And then you put like good thoughts in
exactly.
your head.
You'll be more aware of, okay, that's what's happening in my brain. I don't really need to like act upon those thoughts, right? Because your mind is always racing and there's nothing you can do about it. But meditation causes you to be more aware of those thoughts. Actually, a really good book I would highly recommend. I've read a few books about meditation, but a really good book that I recently read and I would highly recommend to you guys is it's called Stress Less, Accomplish More by Emily Fletcher, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the author. But it's a really, really good book, and it follows the regimen that I currently follow, which is the 30 minutes a day. Some people do a lot longer, but I found 30 minutes to be really good. But check out the book if that's something you're interested in.
You be reading books?
Hey man, that's something we got to talk about too. But I think we've touched on the physical part, and I think yoga would be a good alternative for people. And then we've also touched on meditation. I know some of this stuff sounds weird to some people, maybe, especially even for me. I was like, "What the heck is meditation?" But try it out. Try it out. It's completely changed my life. I honestly, I leave alone even working out. I think meditation is probably the most important thing you can do. I kid you not. And it's one of those things you gotta be consistent to see the results.
Because well, like they say, the mind is a muscle. You gotta exercise it.
Yeah. Plus, man, the mind is so powerful. The things you can do. Even my workouts, I enjoy my workouts a lot more because I'm in control of my mind.
Yeah.
And it's so important. I'm telling you, try it out.
Even in working out, there's that muscle and mind connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you work on your your mental physically, I mean you will see more results in the gym also.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And I guess you can all. You mentioned reading, so tell us.
I mean,
You're a reader, huh? No, you.
You're quoting books. You're quoting authors.
No, I'm just saying a book that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed it, you read it, right?
Are you trying to say that reading it might be a good thing?
No, I'm just trying to get your perspective on it.
I totally agree with him. Jokes aside, reading is awesome. Okay, here's my reason why I feel inspired to read. I hate reading. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hate reading. However, everybody that I look up to, or everybody that's successful that I look up to, they're all avid readers, right? And I can maybe challenge you. Who do you look up to? Do those people read a lot? And I bet you most likely 90% of the time those people actually read a lot. So
I look up to myself. I don't read.
Oh, okay, very well.
I look up to myself.
Well, there read. You go.
So
welcome
good.
to 2021. This is the mindset we're pushing. But jokes aside, but I feel like I've seen you read, so don't let this man lie to y'all. He's a reader, so
yeah, he's an author. Don't you have a book
actually,
too?
Talk about reading. What are some of your favorite books?
Oh man, don't make me mention. So this year
or
I've
some
actually,
of the books you've read recently that you found pretty good.
Yeah, this year I've actually ramped up with the reading, but I mean probably this year I've read like almost 3 books.
Really?
3 books or 4 books.
That's pretty solid.
So the first one was what was it?
You gotta give.
Was it?
Huh?
Was it Having a Pup? No. Oh, Think and Grow Rich. That was one of them.
Was that a good book? Is that a book you would recommend? Give us 2 books. Your 2 favorite books.
Okay. So that one I mentioned, and then The Power of Positive Thinking.
Okay, so he said Think and Grow Rich
and the Power of
Positive Thinking. Yeah. I would totally concur with those 2 books. I've also read those books. I would highly encourage them. Here's my story with the Power of Positive Thinking. First semester of college, I was super nervous about college. I was like, man, I don't even know if I can do this. But I kid you not, I was able to get off with a 4.0 in my first semester of college. And I totally attribute that to this book.
I don't know if it's a book, man.
I don't know, man. No, seriously, because the next semester I didn't get a 4.0, but man, semester I was reading that book.
I could read like 100 books and still not get a 4.0. Stop
no,
that.
But I kid you not. I honestly attribute my success during that semester from that book. It's a.
You
really
also gotta be smart.
Don't listen to this man. Because you heard he reads.
So you trying to say you don't have to be smart to get a 4.0. You're attributing all your 4.0 to your book, to that book. Nothing else goes into it. Dedication, studying.
How do you know I didn't cheat?
Overtime.
I probably cheated my way through school
with that book.
Hey, you got it.
All right, yeah.
That's
go
why
read that book.
I used to write my
Get your 4.0.
But those are 2 really good books, I think. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe like another one I would add to that list is probably How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an old book, but it's a really good book. It talks about how to relate with people and how to be somebody that kind of. I feel like a lot of people today, we don't have this skill of actually interacting with people and being influential, and it's a really good book. I think that book should be made what's the word? Compulsory?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, like it should be part of the curriculum for some stage of school, maybe the first year of college or maybe in high school, but I think it's a great book. Another book I would say, I also mentioned that book about the meditation one.
No, let me, but speaking of Think and Grow Rich, what really that book teaches you is about money. How to manage your money and how to save your money. Because finances is a huge deal. Money. Yeah. You gotta have money somehow in this world to survive. But it really teaches you how people operate, how these millionaires think about money, how they save their money, how they invest their money. If you really need a really good financial background, I think Think and Grow Rich is a good one. And I'm reading, actually, I read the first one which is by Napoleon Hill, right?
Yeah.
And then now I'm reading. It's also the same title, but it's from a black author.
Dennis Kimbrough, right?
I think so. Yeah. But it's really helpful for real.
So also another book I would highly suggest. I'm reading it for the second time as we speak. I'm actually I'm using an audiobook, so that's also another option some people could use if you really hate reading. An audiobook is really great even when I'm driving or I'm at home. I can just listen to it. But it's called That Can't Hurt Me. It's by David Goggins. If you always feel weak mentally, or you feel like you're not capable of doing stuff, or you always doubt yourself, this book, it's hardcore. It's not for the weak. If you're gonna read that book, it's not it's not one of those books that you think it's gonna give you a secret to an easy fix. It talks about being able to callous your mind in a way that any challenge that comes your way in life, you can overcome it. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the stuff we've talked about today is not gonna be easy.
Especially reading. My God.
It's not easy.
Like, if it wasn't for this year, I wasn't reading books. I hated reading books. Even in school, they give me a book to read. I'm not reading it. I'm going online and looking for summaries. I don't like reading books, but I forced myself this year. I was like, I got to start reading books. And so far, I've read 3 books. That's a huge accomplishment for me, man. And I'm trying to keep on going. And it's hard right now. Like, I have a book that I'm reading, but it's hard to keep on reading the book, like, consistently. But I'm forcing myself to do it. You know, you got to build those habits. But also, another thing we forgot is meals, or like your nutrition. What do you eat? Like, if we're trying to work out, like, what do you eat? Do you really like care about nutrition? What's your regime?
Man, we're Africans, man. We eat good. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta eat good. I mean, home food is actually really, really good and nutritious. I feel like, honestly, that's something we've kind of been able to get away with. We don't put a lot of emphasis on what we eat.
I'll eat
but
anything.
I also do think it also has to do a lot with the food we eat is generally like pretty healthy. Yeah, generally healthy. If you stick to like our traditional kind of foods, and kind of also once you learn about, you know, your starches, your proteins, your fibers, it's pretty easy to kind of eat healthy. But we can definitely get into conversation about like diet and meals and what kind of foods to stay away from. But if you're from Africa, you should be okay. I think so.
But there's some people who struggle with it, because some people don't have a fast metabolism. I know I have a fast metabolism. Some people don't. They'll eat and just get fat, right? But we can talk about that conversation in another episode, right?
If that's the case, don't eat. I'm just joking. But I think, that's definitely, I think that's a longer conversation to have. But when it comes to diet, just try to, I feel like generally people know what's healthy and what's not, right?
For me, what I've seen that works is that I could eat anything, because I do work out. I do go in the gym. I do take care of my body. Like, if you're not taking care of your body and you're still eating all you want and all the crap you want, you're obviously going to get fat. For me, I found if I go as hard as I want in the gym, I can eat anything. That's a luxury I get for going in the
You heard it here first. He has the luxury to eat whatever he wants. Don't let that boy mislead you. Don't do it. Don't do it. You see that boy. You see that young buck. That's what you call that young buck genetic. You see what I mean? Don't eat whatever you want. Cause don't follow that boy. Don't follow that all of that fast metabolism stuff now. Don't eat whatever you want.
He was getting recruited to go to the NFL. Matter of fact, in high school,
y'all heard it, boy. Talk about he has the luxury to eat whatever he wants. Don't listen to that boy. Don't not compare yourself to that boy. He got that young buck.
That boy was yoked.
Young back.
He was yoked back in high school.
Don't do it.
He been doing this.
I'm trying to help you. Don't do it now.
He was yoked in high school.
That boy trying to mislead you, talking about you can eat whatever you want. You cannot eat whatever you want. Watch whatever you eat. You don't got a fat metabolism. I don't want to see nobody go walking down with a wheelchair around here. But if I ate the way this man eat, man, I'll probably y'all be wheeling me around with a wheelchair. Okay. I don't even think I fit on the
You see how big this guy is? You tell me
no, do eat. Not. I'm just saying.
You tell me he doesn't eat.
You do not have the luxury to eat like a pig the way this man eat. Period. This is the end of that conversation. I'm just saying that do not compare yourself with that. But I think that's a good.
Do your research.
I think that's a really good stopping point for this conversation because I think we touched on three really good important things.
Yeah.
We talked about the physical body, so we talked about the yoga, the piece of yoga which works on your physicality and your physical fitness. We also talked about the meditation piece, and we also talked about the reading stuff. So, if you notice, we talked about a lot the mental, because I think that's the majority of this. Because if you got this right up here in the mental, everything else flows, right?
Right.
So we put a lot of emphasis on that, and we can expound on a lot of these conversations further and have more conversations of what the nitty gritty of those. But I think those are three really good things. I don't know if you had some more to add on that, but I think
we really we touched on all those points.
If I don't know, and y'all can tell us in the comments if y'all agree or your experiences or things that you've done that worked out pretty good for you. But I think taking care of your body is a number one priority, and there's no way around it. It's gonna be hard. Consistency is the key. I can't stress that enough. You gotta be consistent.
Anything you do.
Yeah. So, I think we're gonna bring this one to this conclusion. But hey, we can talk a lot more about the subjects we talked about today. But hey, you heard it here first. He has the luxury to eat the way he wants. Don't do it. I'm just saying, you don't do it, man.
Hey, and also let us know in the comments what topics you want us to talk about, or ideas you want us to talk about, or questions you got. Yeah, and let's stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.
All right.